So in the video, you mentioned that you're recovering from trauma following family violence.
Yeah, I call it my stuff.
You know, it's easy, I think, for people who are not familiar with family violence to think that, hey, once you're out of the abusive situation, that, you know, the hard work's over. But the reality is that there's so much to cover afterwards in terms of there's so much work to be done, trauma recovery. So, yeah, what's your experience of that?
Look, it can often feel just as bad, only different, because now you've lost your home too. And your financial situation is rock bottom. And so that really limits your resources and your options. And for a lot of us who've had to flee domestic violence, it's exactly that. We've fled. So we've lost family and friendship networks as well. So you can find yourself really alone with little to no support.
And that's when you need the most support,
Exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And so, but help isn't as easy to find as people think. I tried to get help for years for my children and I just didn't have the money for the huge fees. So sometimes it would be just a few sessions and I was out again. A few times I was told that my condition was too complex for the time that was allotted and I didn't have enough money for more. So it created this really terrible loop of despair for me where I just kept getting lower and lower and lower until I reached a point where I honestly believed that I was never going to be able to heal and that it was always just going to be that, which was barely survival. And I got more than desperate. My children almost lost their mother. And they were 6 and 7 when Life Care took us in.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. And even then, I didn't expect much of Life Care. I waited for them to give up on me. I thought it would just be a few more sessions again, and then it would be the inevitable, sorry, end of the road, and you're out again and on your own. But it hasn't been like that. You guys have stuck for the marathon.
Yeah, we don't give up on people at Life Care,
No.
that's for sure. Would you say that's our point of difference?
I think it's one point of difference. I don't think only your stickability is it. If I had to boil it down for the sake of an interview to say 3 things, I would say first, it's the range of services that you offer. Yeah. So Life Care is not just one thing, and they're really good at supporting us across a range of our needs at the same time. So for example, I go to counselling. My son has a mentor through Coach. As a family, we receive support through the pantry. And over the years, I've been there for years, it's been a lot of other opportunities like that. And then all those bits come together and form that whole, and we feel held as a family, and we can really trust their care.
Yeah, so all of our services are working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the second would have to be your staff. This
okay.
is not just a job for you guys. And we feel that. The Life Care staff really go above and beyond. They give so much of themselves to their work. And they make it that we don't feel like we're their work. We feel valid and valuable and important to them, which is so empowering.
Yeah.
And then I said 3 things, didn't I? So third one I would have to say is Life Care is not just a service provider. It's actually a community. You become part of Life Care. I know I felt really seen and heard and valued there. And then there's that opportunity to not just be receiving help, but I've had a lot of opportunity to contribute myself and to give back, which is real community.
And speaking of that, you're a very creative person, an actor and a singer and an artist. And you've had this extraordinary career as a theatre producer and director. And so tell us a bit about this choir that you've started over the last year.
Yeah, so I lead a choir called Just Sing, and it's specifically for people struggling with precarious mental health and fragile mental health. And we meet every Tuesday at the Forest Hill Chase Shopping Centre community space. And we've grown to a number of about 30 now.
Yeah. And so how has that helped your own healing journey, just to be back in that familiar creative workspace, but also kind of working to support and positively impact other people?
Yeah, it's been such a blessing to be able to pour my energy and resources into others. It's not all about me, which is what makes life worth living, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think the other thing about the choir that's been incredible for me is that Life Care got behind me. So they've partnered with me. They put their name on the choir. They send a staff member attends each week to pastorally support the choir. And that means so much because these guys have seen me at my worst and at my most fragile. And yet they're choosing to see my strengths and my capacity. And you're not just you know, you're investing in me. You're not just sort of saying, hey, Kendall, we believe in you. That's great. Like, you're actually rolling up your sleeves and getting in there and doing something. And I keep saying it over and over again, but life care is giving me back my life.